Welcome to Cinematic Recaps. This movie is called Collateral. The movie is about the calculated professional killer, Vincent, who hires the kind-hearted taxi driver Max for a mission. What Max doesn't know is that he is being held as hostage while Vincent is on a hit mission. But the twist is that the two men's destinies are brought together, collided and changed forever. Sit back and enjoy to see what happens. Max works as a taxi driver in the city of Los Angeles. In the course of one evening, he picks up Annie, who is a stunning district attorney. Annie expresses her anxiety on her impending court appearance, while Max shares his aspirations, including the fact that he would want to launch a limousine service. The conversation between the two is quite cordial. Annie suggests Max to take a specific route to her office building downtown, but Max suggests an alternate route. Annie is adamant about taking the first option, and although Max first agrees with her, he is ultimately shown to be correct. Annie hands her card on to Max at the conclusion of the journey. He then proceeds to explain to Annie that on a daily basis he goes on vacation. The next thing we notice is that he has a photograph of a beach in a tropical setting affixed to his sun visor, and that he looks at it to rest every few hours. Annie expresses her gratitude to him for the motivational words and then exits the cab to enter her building where she will continue working on the crucial case. Max is so focused on the road that he almost misses the arrival of a passenger, but he is still able to let the man in. The gentleman calls himself Vincent when he first speaks. Max is impressed with his friendliness, and he pays him $600 to drive him around for the duration of the evening. Max gives his hesitant consent despite being aware that his boss frowns upon his drivers accepting solitary fares for the duration of the night. During their conversation, Vincent reveals that the impersonal nature of Los Angeles is one of the reasons he detests the city. He is reminded of a tale he read in the newspaper about a man who passed away on the subway but was left on the train for several hours before anybody noticed. Max shares with Vincent his ambition to launch his own limousine service, characterizing his current position as a taxi driver as a temporary one. When Vincent inquires as to the length of time he has been doing it, Max admits, quite amusingly, that his temporary work has lasted for a whole 12 years. Vincent instructs Max to take him to an apartment complex and park in a side alley, where they are largely hidden from view. While Max is chewing on his meal, Vincent walks upstairs. Suddenly, a dead corpse lands on top of the windshield and the roof of Max's cab, shattering the glass and the light dome on top of the roof while also leaving a significant dent in the roof. Vincent then proceeds downstairs and admits that he was the one who shot the other man. He threatens Max with the pistol and makes him help him conceal the body in the trunk of the taxi. They clean the blood off of the automobile and use duct tape to fix the light dome that was damaged. Max begs Vincent to let him leave, but Vincent is determined that he follows him everywhere he goes. They are subsequently pulled over by the LAPD, who observe the damage to Max's taxi and arrest them. By claiming that he was involved in a collision with a deer, Max is able to buy himself a few minutes of breathing room. Lucky a second emergency has arisen, and the cops have been diverted to deal with it. Not long after that, Max gets a call from his employer, who had been informed of the damage by the police and had gotten a call notifying him of the incident. Vincent gives Max the instruction to be rude to his employer, and then he pretends to be an attorney and tells Max's boss that the damage will be covered by insurance. In addition to this, he instructs Max to disrespect his employer, which Max performs despite his reservations. As the evening proceeds, Vincent orders Max to transport him to more locations where he will kill additional individuals. He has till the end of the night to take the lives of 5 other individuals. In the meantime, a detective by the name of Fanning is giving chase to the two of them while gradually piecing together what is going on. He knits together various clues relating the individuals Vincent has slain, and he determines that the killer has used the same way to shoot all of them with the same firearm. 3 bullet holes were found, 2 in the chest and 1 in the head. All of the victims are known to be associated with the convicted drug dealer who is about to stand trial in the next few days. Fanning decides to take on the investigation. In spite of everything, it appears like Vincent is developing feelings for Max, but Max isn't interested in expressing those feelings at all. They later paid a visit to Max's mother when she was still in the hospital. To reduce the likelihood that anybody will suspect anything fishy, Vincent wants Max's nightly employment to look as ordinary as possible. Max is able to evade Vincent while carrying his suitcase, which contains the identification data of the people Vincent is after, as well as the laptop that Vincent uses. Max throws the laptop over the fence, where it is then run over by a truck after he has raced over a pedestrian bridge that is situated over an expressway. As a response, Vincent compels Max to see the mobster who placed the order for the kill, a man named Felix who deals drugs, in order to obtain further copies of the information. Max convinces the mafia leader that he is Vincent so that he may obtain the remaining information for the hits through this ruse. At this point, Fanning is already participating in an FBI stakeout at Felix's club and has identified Max as the person he believes to be the murderer. Fanning becomes a member of the FBI and continues to pursue the taxi. To ensure that Vincent would accomplish the next 2 hits, Felix has him being watched by his own men while simultaneously questioning his faith in Vincent. In order to eliminate a target who is well protected, Vincent and Max head to a lively nightclub. Fanning, the FBI, and the LAPD all make an appearance. The only person who can get Fanning to safety is Max, and he's hunting for him especially. The situation escalates into a big shootout, during which Vincent takes out his intended victim and ends up saving Max's life. After finding Max, Detective Fanning is escorting him out of the building when Vincent approaches from behind and fires a shot at the officer. Max and Vincent manage to get away from the slaughter and make their way to the 3rd mark. At this point, Max has reached his breaking point, and he chooses to intentionally crash his cab. Vincent escapes by crawling and then abandons him there. Max is approached by a police officer who intends to assist him, but the officer notices the bodies that Vincent has hidden in the trunk. Max knows that Annie is the ultimate goal after observing the new computer screen that Vincent has installed while he is on the ground. This explains why Vincent was standing outside of that particular building earlier. He was observing the safety measures that it took to protect the building. Max is able to steal the gun from the officer after defeating him. He makes a beeline for Annie's building and arrives at the same moment as Vincent, who is already there. After shooting Vincent, Max makes his escape with Annie. Despite this, Vincent is able to pull through his wounded and pursues them both until they board a subway train. During the time that Vincent spends searching for Max and Annie on the train, Max and Annie feels unsure if whether or not they should leave the train. As the door to the train closes, Vincent walks back inside the train, fully aware that they are still inside. When Max and Annie reaches the end of the train, before Max begins firing his weapon towards Vincent, he takes a moment to catch his breath and experience an adrenaline rush. Both Vincent and Max draw their weapons and shoot at each other. Unfortunately, Vincent is killed by his wounds. Moments after the shootout, Vincent sits down and asks Max whether he believes anybody would notice his body. While Max and Annie are getting off the train, he passes away while sitting down, and that is the end of this movie. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for weekly updates of movie recaps like this. Comment what movie you want next. Thanks for watching.